Auburn Blitz is now on the air. Your daily look into what's happening in Auburn athletics. With your host, Andy Graham, Brett Pritchard, Randy Lee, War Eagle.
Good Monday. Welcome into our first edition this week of the Auburn Blitz. I'm Randy Lee alongside my good friend David Jones. Love to hear from you out there. 256-234-6221 is our phone number. Got plenty to discuss when it comes to Auburn athletics, but we will not start the day after the Super Bowl without talking a little bit about the Super Bowl, David. And I tell you, if you're up for a game, you know, us broadcasters, I say this all the time, when I'm not being a homer and I'm not out there broadcasting for my local team here or one that I'm kind of a semi-for, all I want's a good game. And if you were sitting at home last night and all you wanted was a good game, you got one, David.
Got one. I watched it with my neighbor across the street, Larry McWee, who's a former head high school football coach. A long time ago, he kind of got out of coaching and did some other things, but he was at McGill-Tulane. He was at T.R. Miller. I'm talking about way back in the day. And he just sitting there saying, good grief. I said, this might be who's got the ball last. Well, there you go. So
some games have become that, haven't they? Yeah. And did you see when Jalen Hurts was coming through Alabama where he would end up at this level in his career? You know, he had a couple of drops last night that he had the ball right there on the money. I thought he threw it better than I ever expected him to, and we knew exactly how special he was running the football, and he's still that way in the pros.
Yeah, and he's done yeoman's work on his passing game. I mean, and here's the thing, Randy, everybody wants to magnify that last call. Well, the dude from Philadelphia even said, I held him. I was hoping they'd let it go. The unfortunate turnover is the scoop and score, and you know the long punt return that just killed the Eagles. But what a great game! It's just a really good game.
Great game by a couple of Alabama kids. Tony was exceptional. Kadarius Toney was from Blunt High School.
Watched him in high school, man.
Matt, did you coach against him in high school?
I did not coach against him, but I saw him play.
You saw all you needed to see.
Oh yeah,
he was. I said last night, communicating with a local coach that we have here that, in my opinion, he's the perfect high school quarterback because he had the ability to throw the football. He had a strong arm. Maybe there are better throwing quarterbacks. Of course there were, because he ends up being a skill guy. But he could kill you running the football. He could do everything. And in high school football, you hope you always have a good offensive line, but many times you've got some down spots on every offensive line, and he could take care of any down spots. You can run at him all you want. And he was exceptional last night.
Well, Randy, you remember a guy by the name of David Palmer.
Yeah, remember him well, yeah.
From Jackson Olin High School, who I also saw in high school. Tony reminds me of him. Just Superman. Can just about do anything. And great to see. You know, we had an Auburn player on the Chiefs, Prince, I can't even pronounce the name.
Wanatunga?
Yeah, who won a Super Bowl ring last night. So good for him. I thought Devontae Smith did some fantastic things last night. He's so little. It's just crazy. But, you know, he and Jalen hooking up, that's pretty cool. And I'm going to be honest with you. I'm happy for Andy Reid because he's probably going to retire now. He's one of the best to ever do it. I was just kind of pulling for the Eagles last night. But I basically was just watching the game and trying not to pull too hard for either one, just taking in all that talent that was out on the field last night.
It is hard, even though he was an Alabama quarterback, did move on, play for Oklahoma. But it's next to impossible for me to not cheer for Jalen Hurts.
Absolutely.
When you put a mic in front of him, you're like, would my son please sound like that one day? Yeah. Would he please be as composed as that man is one day and be able to take everything in stride? And, you know, I'll tell you one thing I was thinking about while I was watching his post-game press conference last night is, and I hate to say this, but I'm going to go ahead and do it, but how poorly Cam handled his after the Super Bowl and how well Jalen handled his last night. I love Cam Newton. My kids probably wear more number 2 jerseys than they do anything else. I'm not trying to be up here and be negative, but it was the thought that went through my head last night. Watch Jalen Hurts when they put a mic in front of him and not everything goes his way, how well he handles it. And it's a testament to his family, I'm sure. A high school a high school coach and a dad that raised him really well. But, man, he's hard to not cheer for.
Well, Randy, as long as your children aren't wearing Cam's wardrobe other than the jersey,
yes, sir, they are
good.
No.
I'm just kidding. The other thing, I've tried to get in front of some college coaches and some high school coaches with this. I have a presentation on handling interviews, eye contact, interest. Everybody starts off with, yeah, when they answer questions. You look at an interview, 9 times out of 10, somebody starts off with a filler word. And handling that kind of stuff, just Jalen Hurts, he's spot on. He's phenomenal.
His highs are never too high.
Yeah.
Lows are never too low. He is just even keel, handles himself so well, and I'm proud for the quarterback that he's become for himself. I had no expectation of him entering the NFL and being able to throw the ball well enough. I knew he was a better thrower than Tim Tebow, but in my mind's eye, I thought he was a little bit better than Tim Tebow. But, boy, he's much better than Tim Tebow. He's got another 10 years barring some kind of crazy injury, and I think he's built for this. He's not one of those guys that I look at and say that he doesn't have the ability to run the football the way that they use him right now another 7 to 10 years.
Yep. I just, Larry and I were watching the game last night, and Larry just, and Larry kind of for the Chiefs guy.
Yeah.
It just kept over. Man, what a throw. What a throw. What a throw. Over and over. He just made some great throws, great runs. And there again, a lot of people are going to say, well, NFL, rigged, came down to a call. Look, there were a lot of things that the Eagles wish they had back before that would have made a difference in the ball game. So
definitely would have.
Got to hand it to Mahomes.
He's as good as we've got. My son was asking me on the ride to his school this morning, if Tom Brady's the GOAT, who's next? And I didn't answer him quick enough, and he got on to me, and I said, well, I tell you what, the one that's closing in on him is Patrick Mahomes, because that man is playing for championships every year.
And how many more years does he have, Randy? He's got
8 or 10 solid more years. And his athleticism and the toughness that he showed last night.
Yeah.
Many times you can question whether somebody's as gimpy as they're showing. Mm-hmm. At least I have before. I'm like, I think he's using that to his benefit, where later down the line he's going to take advantage of that. But he was gimpy coming up off the ground.
You saw his face on the sideline.
You couldn't hide this, but that play he made with his legs late in the football game was one of the key plays in the game.
Yeah, absolutely. And I don't know what they shot into his ankle at the half.
It worked.
They gave him something. And that play was, he just saw the C part. He didn't really want to run because, that ankle, he's probably barely walking today after what he went through last night. Just a gamer. You love those guys. He's just a winner.
Andy Reid, as good as we've had.
Yeah.
The counters that he was running with multiple backs last night were a thing of beauty. He had the blocking scheme set up, and you've watched great play callers bait people into the plays that he wanted, and you had that sense starting the second half that he liked what he saw with the running game. And they really didn't have the football the entire second quarter. But when they came back out in the second half and went on that 75-yard drive to start the second half, and a majority of it was on the ground running with multiple backs, it's what a great offensive mind can do, isn't it?
Randy, here's the thing. That's exactly right. We think we've seen it all in football. And then somebody comes, that fake motion zip or the fake motion fade that they ran for the touchdown where nobody was –
Kadarius Toney.
Unbelievable. That was just a thing of beauty, and I had to look at it again to see what they were doing defensively, and they're over there laughing. This is hilarious. It's like taking candy from a baby. What a phenomenal – every high school coach in the country
Saw that, and we'll put it in.
We'll put it in
the next week.
You watch.
It'll be in every spring practice from here to. But it was the counter runs. It was the semi fullback. I mean, you call him a fullback. He doesn't look like the old school fullback you and I grew up playing in the I formation and trying to. But you know, the counters that they were running back to the left kept leaning on the left side of that offensive front, and they kept winning the battles over there. And then also one thing I was very impressed. You know, going a little nerdy over here, and I know that you being an old offensive guy and a coach from that standpoint, it always disturbs me when you can't go under center, snap the ball to especially a big, strong, long quarterback, and just barrel ahead for 1 yard, 2 yards, whatever you need to get. And the Eagles could do that with the best of them last night, my friend. With Jalen Hurts, you felt like if it was 3rd and 3, they'd go into that package last night.
What's his Sirianni? Is that how you pronounce it?
Sirianni.
Yeah. Look, if it's 4th and 3 and you're anywhere near, they've gone for it all year.
Yeah.
But down there, those linemen, and you know, Larry and I said, Larry, the low guy wins. You know that they're bear crawling, and Jalen's finding that gap, and Guinea will stop that.
They didn't, and nobody did.
The first drive, when Philadelphia stuck that thing up Kansas City's rear end on that first drive, I said, holy crap, look at that. But Kansas City said, no, we got something.
Able to do the same. 256-234-6221 is our phone number. Love to hear from you on the other side.
The interstate is backed up this morning due to an accident.
So you don't like sitting still on the interstate? Get the free Algo traffic app. With Algo, you'll have the information you need to avoid problems on your route, to work, to home, to the beach. Traffic backups, wrecks, lane closures, all with current info and live traffic camera feeds. Know before you go with Algo Traffic, ALGO Traffic from the Alabama Department of Transportation. Get it today and arrive on time.
Lake Martin Garage, located on Highway 280 in Jackson's Gap, has been serving our area since 1993. From routine maintenance such as oil changes, tune-ups, and rotating and balancing your tires, to transmission and engine repair, our trained and certified mechanics will get you back on the road better than before. Need a tow? With a 24-hour, 7-day-a-week towing service, Lake Martin Garage has local and long-range pickup. Trust your vehicle needs to the professionals at Lake Martin Garage. Call 256-825-6139, or better yet, stop in and see them today. Lake Martin Garage.
What's the verdict?
Can't fix your heat pump. Need a new one.
Uh-oh. What are you thinking?
I'm thinking Daikin.
Call on Kevin Kill in Sunshine Heating and Air at 256-825-4849, Central Alabama's premier Daikin dealer.
So what's he thinking?
Oh, he's thinking Daikin.
Daikin, one of the top selling in the world.
Now I'm thinking Daikin.
Daikin. Comfort for life.
The Eric McKinley team at Mortgage Pro in Alexander City is the perfect lender for all your mortgage needs. Property values have increased and interest rates have never been so low. So if you haven't looked at refinancing your house in the last 6 to 12 months, Mortgage Pro is here to help you take advantage of that. Our team is closing loans in 15 days or less, so give us a call at 256-397-0248 and let our team go to work for you today.
Don't be caught in a dirty vehicle. Lake Martin Mobile Detailing will have your vehicle or boat looking like brand new in no time, and you'll be back driving in style. They specialize in detailing, paint correction, gel coat restoration, and ceramic coating. Take it to the professionals at Lake Martin Mobile Detailing. Call them today at 256-794-2328 or stop by and see them at 702 McCarty Road in Dadeville. Mention this ad and receive $10 off. Lake Martin Mobile Detailing for your cleanest vehicles around.
Lee Apparel is your go-to vendor for screen-printed and embroidered apparel and promotional products. We print and embroider free custom-made graphics or outsourced designs on everything from t-shirts, headwear, corporate wear, team sportswear, high-end safety apparel, and promotional products. At Lee Apparel, you can always expect quick turnaround time, competitive pricing, friendly customer service, and free in-hands delivery on all orders. Visit us at leeapparel.com to get started.
Skag, the toughest name in lawnmowers. Unmatched quality and performance for over 3 decades. The clear choice, the best mower money can buy for work or at home. Top lawn care professionals and discerning homeowners know that Skag means productivity and reliability. Every Skag mower is proudly built right here in the USA. Don't settle for anything less than simply the best. Skag.
Satterfield Outdoor Living on Highway 280 in Alex City.
J.A. Smith Construction, with 19 years experience, is your trusted choice for construction. Site clearing and grading for new home construction, basement excavation, concrete paving, storm drain installation, fish ponds, and slough dredging. No job is too big or too small. Call Alexander at J.A. Smith Construction at 334-531-0199 or email asmith@jasmithconstruct.com. J.A. Smith Construction, your trusted choice for construction.
Phones are ringing, David. 256-234-6221 is our phone number. If you got a comment on the game last night, we'd love to hear from you. If you've got a comment on our next topic after we take this phone call, that Auburn and Alabama basketball game. But let's go to Terry first. I bet he's got a comment on it.
You think he might?
Yes. Terry, you there with us?
I'm here, guys. How y'all doing today?
Good. Glad to have you, Terry.
Good to be with y'all. Thank you for having me. Guys, as much praise as we've gave Coach Saban over the years, how brilliant does he look that he ran off Jalen Hurts to give Tua the job? Because Tua didn't even get to the playoffs.
I tell you, Terry, though, watching that game and thinking back, and I thought about it a lot last night, watching that championship game against Georgia, I was thinking, if Nick Saban stays with him and doesn't pull this guy off the bench with those receivers that they've got over there, then he's a lot better with these kids than I would be, because there's no doubt. So, and we saw what we saw in that game. Terry, I'm going to disagree with you.
I agree with you from a passing standpoint. I just think Jalen Hurts was a better athlete and he's going to give him a fair chance to win. He probably made a poor decision on where to go. He probably would have been better in something like Malzahn's office. Not necessarily Malzahn, because he couldn't develop a quarterback at all. But you follow what I'm saying, a guy that could showcase his talents athletically.
Maybe so, but Gus Malzahn, at that time, toward that part of his career, David was a little bit more polished and nice and courteous, and I'd had enough. I jumped off the bus head first by the last couple of years. So I think picking Oklahoma over Auburn at that time was probably the right choice by Jalen.
Oh, yeah, absolutely, absolutely. And I admit, I had a lot of fun with some Alabama friends when he decided to transfer. I said, what he's going to do, he's going to transfer down to Auburn and come back and beat y'all. That's what's going to happen. And they were getting really irritated at me because they were scared to death it was going to happen. I knew it wasn't going to happen, but I was having some fun at their expense, quite honestly. But here's a guy who's majorly developed, and how could you not like the guy? The statement he made after when they put Tua in, he said, "What am I going to do? I'm going to fight. That's what I'm going to do." And I thought, well, that's a class act right there.
Well, speaking of that, Terry, and another Nick Saban story. Who's the kid that played at Pleasant Grove High School and then Sanford that was in the game last night? You know what I'm talking about?
Yes. It was the kid. It was the defensive back on the last play, wasn't it?
Was that him?
I'm almost certain that was the Pleasant Grove kid.
He tells a story. He said, Nick Saban did me the biggest favor of my life. He said, my parents and I went on a visit to Alabama. He barely spoke, pretty much ignored us. And we left and said, I won't come here. And he said, that was the greatest motivator for me to work and get to the level that I'm at now. Well, I went to Sanford University, worked my tail off, and here I am in the league.
That sounds like something Brian Harsin would have done.
Yeah, pretty much. And he did.
And he did. Right. Randy, the guy you talked about from Auburn, was that the offensive lineman? Was he playing last night?
Yeah, Prince.
I can't say his last name either, Coach David.
Teo Winogo. Yeah. He was on the field last night, I think. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I wonder if he was in the league, because he's one of those guys that looks the part, but necessarily doesn't play the part, Yeah. But looks like a left tackle. Big, strong-looking guy, real tall. I think he came to Auburn as a defensive end. I can't remember, so, But I appreciate it, guys. You have a great day.
Thank you so much, Terry. We appreciate the phone call. 256-234-6221 is the phone number. And I'm almost certain that, the guy that made the last play that said that he pulled. And if I'm wrong, let me know that. But I think he was a Pleasant Grove. I looked over at my wife. I said, oh, man, I hate to see that. I'm up here trying to do everything I can to brag on our Alabama kids whenever we do something well, and you have that one go against you. But we've had some very successful defensive backs reach the league in the last several years that weren't from Auburn or Alabama in this state, haven't we?
Yeah, well, that's the beautiful thing about work ethic and dreams and vision and drive. Pleasant Grove High School to Samford University in the Super Bowl. I mean, it doesn't get any better than that.
It definitely does. I know. You ready to talk Auburn basketball?
How in-depth you want me to go? Because I'm not Mr. Positive today.
Well, most of the time, I'm going to take advantage of this, by the way. When I get you, not Joe Positive over here, then I will, I'm going to wind you up and let you go, because it's normally Brett and myself that are doing that.
Well, you know, Bruce is a friend, and I have to be very careful what I say on the show. I disagreed with a lot of the game plan Saturday, especially on the defensive end. And Bruce said it. He said, look, if we weren't, if we're helping in the lane, then they're jacking threes. Well, we don't know that. I've never seen a three-point shooter hit a three without the ball in his hands, Randy. And Saturday, they scored 44 points in the paint because we're out hugging three-point shooters and not helping in the lane. Look, stop the ball first. But that was the game plan. I mean, at one point, Leora Berman's in the corner with his back to the basketball, and the ball's on the other side of the floor. Defense one-on-one says, and Jeff Hines will agree with me on this, get your butt cracked to the rim, see the ball, see your man.
Ball me man.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But that wasn't part of the Saturday was we're going to stop the three-pointer and here's the other thing. We still get hurt, Randy, with our wholesale switching. Dylan Cardwell cannot switch on to Brandon Miller. He can't do it. He can't switch on to a guard. And we wholesale switch, and I love Janai Broom, but he's not a great defender. He was out of position so many times Saturday. And anybody that wants to disagree with me and debate, come over to the house over on Shoreline Drive in Jackson's Gap. We'll turn on the tape. And I'll go possession by possession with you, because that's what I did this morning. I went possession by possession with my coffee in hand, and I'm just shaking my head. I wish that we had adjusted a little bit better. But here's the thing, Alabama, you pick your poison against Alabama, they're going to take advantage of it. Now, this will make some Alabama fans angry. That's okay. We're good at that. Brandon Miller gets away with murder with the off arm. You know, Flanagan had called for an off-arm offensive foul that was ticky-tack. Miller does that just about every time he drives. He hooks. He gets protected. They set a lot of illegal screens on the perimeter with those ball screens. But you know what? At the end of the day, they're a bunch of gamers and a bunch of street fighters, and if you don't street fight back with them, they're going to whip your rear end, and that's what happened to us on Saturday.
It's Nate Oates' mentality, isn't it?
Yeah.
I get that feel.
Yeah.
I watch him coach. Watch his interviews. He's kind of got a rugged way that he carries himself.
He's a little snide.
Yeah, he's snide. But,
here's the other thing.
But if he was my snide guy, I'd love it.
Oh, yeah. Well, when he said this is our Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Hey, Nate, we've won 3 SEC titles in the last 5 years with a Final Four trip. You know, when you get there, send us a postcard.
Unfortunately, I'm worried this year they might be wrong.
They might do it. We might be getting that postcard.
That's right. We'll talk a little bit more about the game and other things when we come back. 256-234-6221.
Hi, this is Brian Bice with Bice Motors. With our all-star lineup of Dodge trucks, Jeep, SUVs, and Chrysler cars, we offer the area a team dedicated to making your next vehicle purchase a positive experience. Our sales team offers competitive pricing, and we back up all sales with a service department second to none. Bice Motors also offers the area's best selection of pre-owned vehicles. Visit Bice Motors at 2133 Cherokee Road in Alexander City.
Guaranteed lowest price. Buy it at Bice. Bice Motors.
Heritage South Credit Union in Alexander City is your community credit union, and they have been for over 80 years. Heritage South Credit Union proudly serves Tallapoosa, Coosa, Lee, Chambers, Randolph, and Chilton counties. From checking to business accounts, to share savings to club accounts, to their kids club and investments. Visit them online at myhscu.com. Heritage South Credit Union, your community credit union for 80 years. Federally insured by NCUA.
WOTM is the television provider for all Alabama High School Athletic Association championship events and special programs. WOTM is your home for the Super 7 football, state finals basketball, baseball and softball state championships, the AHSAA weekly show, and WOTM also produced the first ever football playoff show, Super 7 preview show, and reclassification reveal show. Your exclusive home for all things AHSAA is WOTM. Contact your local cable provider to request WOTM to your channel lineup.
When you need an automotive hero, you got to call S&S Discount Tire Pros. With locations in Alexander City and Dayville, we are here to serve you today. From quick services like oil changes and tire rotations to in-depth automotive repairs such as suspensions, brakes, and tune-ups, S&S can take care of all your tire needs. You just have to focus on what's important and love the drive. Call S&S Discount Tire Pros today. We are automotive heroes, and we are here to serve you.
Whether it's Lake Martin, Lay Lake, or Logan Martin, boaters from all over the state of Alabama come to Alex City Marine, just off Highway 280 in Alexander City, Alabama, because it's worth the drive. With the best deals on unbeatable Suzuki outboards, Manitou and Landau tri-tunes, and a great pre-owned inventory while they last. Alex City Marine is the pros the locals know. And no matter where you're from, when you're here, you're local to us. Alex City Marine, just off Highway 280 in Alexander City, Alabama. AlexCityMarine.com.
Country Clipper zero-turn mowers are designed for comfort, accessibility, and ease of use. Only Country Clipper offers your choice of steering options with industry-exclusive joystick steering or twin lever steering. Their patented stand-up deck, standard on every model, allows for quick access to the underside of the deck for routine maintenance. With a wide front step and optional handrail, getting on or off your mower has never been easier. Stop by Fun Carts of Opelika today for a test drive. Country Clipper mowers, designed for you. Fun Carts of Opelika, located at 618 Lee Road, 113 in Opelika, Alabama.
Russell Do-It Center and building supply stores have the tools and materials to get the job done right, whether you're a professional contractor or just a weekend do-it-yourselfer. With everyday customer conveniences like a drive-through lumberyard, price match promise, and our Best Rewards program, each of our 9 locations offer top brands and building materials like lumber, hardware, tools, paint, lawn and garden, and much more. Visit today and see what Russell Do-It Center and Building Supply can help you build tomorrow.
No monthly payments for 120 days at Glenn Smith Chevrolet in Opelika. Check out the powerful new Chevrolet Silverado 4-wheel drive crew cabs discounted up to $7,500 off. The midsize Chevrolet Malibus up to $5,250 off. Shop online anytime at glennsmith.com. That's GLYNN Smith.com.
We have over 200 new and used vehicles on the ground or on the way. Get ready to smile.
David, I've questioned over the last couple of years at times Wendell Green's decision-making when it comes to late in the shot clock, and, you know, I'll call dribbling the air out of the ball. And but let's put it this way, and you said it to me before the show, and I can't agree more. Wendell Green, you take him off this Auburn squad, who does the scoring? Yeah. Large portions of the ball game, the 50% of the offense is running through him. And it's not that the others are passing up to him. It's that they're looking at him to make a play. Yeah. They're needing him to make a play. And, you know, he scored the basketball really well on Saturday and kept us in the ball game. He did miss some shots late in the ball game, but, I mean, you got to go with that when someone's the one driving the bus the way that he is right now.
Yeah, I agree. We can be critical of Wendell all we want to, but if Wendell ain't scoring, we ain't scoring.
We're in trouble. Yep.
I mean, Janai, and you made a comment off the air. I was a little critical. I said something critical off the air, but you're correct. Alan Flanagan exerts so much effort on defense. And, you know, a lot of the time he was on Miller Saturday. He did not have a good game offensively. Janai Broom had a horrible game offensively. You know, get your big 6'10" butt down there and get a foot in the paint, and let's get some paint touches. We don't get those. We're out 25 feet from the basket setting ball screens. Now, if you got a 6'10" guy that can roll off that and hit threes.
Brandon Miller.
Yeah.
If you got him.
Yeah, more power to it. Luke took a shot at me and said, is that Andy Burcham or David Jones? Look, I'm just saying, I'm telling the truth, Luke. Alabama sets an illegal screen on every offensive possession, but they don't get them called because it's every possession.
Well, you got to understand, Luke had his tweet of the year by posting out Andy Burcham crying pretty much at the end of the ball game. So, Luke, we want to tip our hat to you. You got more impressions, you got more views on that single tweet than you've had all year long. So, I will tip my hat to you. I wish we as Auburn fans would do it to you as Alabama fans a little more than we do.
Yeah.
But there is one good thing we got going for us, and I saw a tweet on this, and I thought it was very true. Bama fans will watch and keep up with more Auburn stuff than I would ever dream of on the Alabama side.
Oh, yeah.
Would you watch an Alabama or listen to an Alabama program? Now, there's a negative chance I would do that, and it's not. Luke's different because he's part of our team,
Luke's
and we need him to. But there are a lot of Bammers that just get a lot of pride in listening to us Homer talk. We're talking to each other.
That's right.
Not really talking to y'all.
Well,
you know?
that's the thing, and I got to be careful because I'm calling Final Four with Luke in Birmingham in a couple of weeks.
I'm not knocking Luke. I'm knocking others.
No, Luke's my dude. I love Luke, but I'm gonna say that the comment that got me was Oates saying that this was Auburn's Super Bowl. Come on, man. I mean, you ain't been relevant long enough to talk crap like that. Do something, you know, consistently, as Bruce Pearl's done in the last 9 years, and then we can talk. But the problem is, he probably is. I mean, Alabama is extremely talented. They shoot the ball. Yeah, we did. That's probably their, and we don't have any stats in front of us. I wish I did, but that's probably their worst three-point shooting outing of the year because that was our sole focus.
Yeah.
Saturday.
And we took Sears out of his game for the most part of the game.
Yeah.
And,
late he got some stuff.
He did.
But they said, all right, you going to shut the three down? Fine. We'll ball screen and get in the lane. You're not going to help. We'll get to the rim. And they're so athletic. They can just about get to the rim anytime they want to if you don't have help in the lane.
Offensively, them down in the post, we'll see if they match up with a Purdue or someone like that, if they can be exposed a little there. I don't see a lot of teams in college basketball any better than them right now.
No.
I must be honest. I mean, they are they got dudes out at the guard. They got the best player, I think, in the country for my money. If I'm picking an NBA prospect, it's Brandon Miller.
Yeah.
He shoots the ball so well from the perimeter. He's not an unbelievable athlete, you know, which like Jabari was not a exceptional athlete. It wasn't like he just lived above the rim. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I mean, he's not a Dr. J type player, but he's a good enough athlete.
That's smooth.
He's smooth, and I think he's got a lot of growth because if he puts the 20 or 25 pounds on that he needs, which he's going to, if they get outside of 3 picks before he's picked, I'm questioning it.
Well, Randy, here's the thing from my standpoint and expertise that will get Alabama in the tournament. They're not a great defensive team. They're long. We got them on some pick and rolls and got some dunks and you know, got downhill with some guards. They're going to have some problems with some of these offensive teams that run a lot of action, you know, and try to confuse you. And we don't do that. You and I have talked about that. We run some initial action. Our late clock stuff is not great. We depend on, you know, Wendell to bail us out a lot, or KD. And they're going to come up against some teams in the tournament that play a different style like that. But on the flip side, stopping them, that's where there may only be 2 or 3 teams in the country that would have a lot of success taking away that inside game and the outside game, because they can do either.
They really can. So it's going to be a tough out. We're cheering for anyone that can make that happen. I'm going to continue to watch college basketball to see if I can find one of those teams that can hopefully make that happen. But let's go to the phone line. Caller, you on the Auburn Blitz.
Hey, Randy, I got to call in. I know I don't have a lot of time, but I got to follow up here with a couple of things. You ask why we watch, and first of all, it's hilarious to me how many Auburn fans said, "I can't believe you watch all this Auburn stuff," and I'm like, "Well, you're tweeting at an Alabama guy." I mean,
it's different to see it in your stream than to actually tune into a program or the opposing team's broadcast. There is very little I would do to do that.
Somebody sends me a video clip of that high comedy. At the very end of that, Andy Burcham actually said, "My Lord in heaven." I've never heard a broadcaster say that. He thought the foul, which wasn't a foul, by the way, was so egregious. He felt like he had to say a little prayer. He even clasped his hands together. But regardless, anybody can go check out the tweet. It's right there, and the video is right there. And
it was your best one of the year,
you just can't laugh at yourself.
It was your best one of the year, Luke.
It was a good one. It's my best one ever, frankly. Okay. Which says a lot about how terrible my tweets normally are. But, you know, and I'm not going to – I think Nate Oates was over the top a little bit on the Super Bowl thing, too. I wish he wouldn't have done that. But, you know, look, here's the thing. In that moment, I mean, there was game day there. There was a jacked crowd. I mean, just, you know, people camping out and Freeze and Pearl bringing donuts and Chick-fil-A's and things like that. And, I mean, it was one of the best environments of the year in college basketball. It was a big deal. And so he probably went a little too far with it. I don't think there's any doubt about that. And Alabama did move up number one, and I think that's awesome. The only problem, again, is not lifelong Alabama fan. I keep waiting for the piano to fall on my head. And we've now traveled to Knoxville. Tennessee should have lost 3 or 4 games in a row, but they've lost 2 games in a row at the buzzer. They probably got a bad case of the red butt, so no telling how good they're going to play Wednesday night. But regardless, I'll savor this moment for just a second. And one other thing, I put it on the messages, but I'm ready to retire the crane kick. I've already seen Mechie do it, and Auburn's kicker do it, and the gymnastics team do it, and Bruce Pearl do it, and Brandon Miller do it. I think we need to find a new way to mock each other.
I agree with you, Luke. Thank you, buddy. We appreciate the phone call today. And
hey, I think they'll beat Tennessee by 15.
I think they'll be up for it, too. Yeah. I just have that feeling that this is a team that's good enough that it almost takes something to get them up. Yeah. When you had the ease of wins that they've had so far this year, a game like that against an opponent you can't stand probably
not playing very well either.
Yeah, offensively, man, Lord, we should have beat them. My Lord, we played pitiful offensively over there.
Yeah, that was ugly.
It was. More of the Auburn Blitz right after this.
J.A. Smith Construction, with 19 years experience, is your trusted choice for construction. Site clearing and grading for new home construction, basement excavation, concrete paving, storm drain installation, fish ponds, and slough dredging. No job is too big or too small. Call Alexander at J.A. Smith Construction at 334-531-0199 or email asmith@jasmithconstruct.com. J.A. Smith Construction, your trusted choice for construction.
Grain and Leaf, located at 6068 Highway 63 South, is Lake Martin's premier boutique-style bottle shop with a unique array of sophistication for everyone. Appropriately named for its exclusive selection of top spirits, wine, and craft beer, Grain and Leaf also has a number of fine cigars for you to choose from. They also carry the full line of Hornsby Farms assorted jellies and pottery. Open 10 to 7 Monday through Saturday and noon to 5 on Sundays, Grain and Leaf is your premier shop in the Lake Martin area.
LMG Ad Agency is the go-to vendor for all your digital and print marketing needs. We have in-house production for all projects, including graphic design, web design, social media marketing, videography, and print marketing. Our video production is up to industry standard with modern 4K cameras and drone capabilities. We pride ourselves in client-committed relationships, and every project is personalized to your needs. Visit lmgadagency.com for a free quote today. Let us tell your story.
EnviroCare is the standard in East Central Alabama for all your pest control and termite needs. EnviroCare exclusively offers Centricon termite colony elimination system that is the industry's most effective termite control to protect your home year-round. The EnviroCare team's service is also the standard for our customers. From eliminating home pests to superior termite control, nobody cares like EnviroCare, serving Lake Martin and East Central Alabama. Folks around these parts have known for a long time that Walls Tire, just a mile past the bridge on Highway 280, is your #1 stop for automotive service and repair. At Walls Tire, you'll always find quality service at a fair price on everything from AC, name brand tires, big or small repairs, routine maintenance, towing, and more. When your car or truck needs to run right, there's one place in the area to go, conveniently located and easy to find. Walls Tire, just a mile past the bridge on Highway 280.
The Eric McKinley team at Mortgage Pro in Alexander City is the perfect lender for all your mortgage needs. Property values have increased and interest rates have never been so low. So if you haven't looked at refinancing your house in the last 6 to 12 months, Mortgage Pro is here to help you take advantage of that. Our team is closing loans in 15 days or less, so give us a call at 256-397-0248 and let our team go to work for you today.
For more than 40 years, Ingram Equipment Company has helped companies, towns, and cities with their dirtiest, most challenging jobs by providing the very best equipment and by helping them keep in tip-top working condition. IEC represents leading manufacturers such as Heil garbage truck bodies, Timco sweepers, Step pothole patchers, and many more. We proudly support all athletes and teams that compete across the state and wish them good luck this year. Ingram Equipment Company, ingramequipment.net.
WAXC TV3's Basketball Game of the Week is presented by Glenn Smith Chevrolet Buick GMC on the Columbus Parkway in Opelika. Get ready to smile. Catch game replays on WAXC TV3 and on our Roku app. Games replay Monday and Friday at 8 p.m. and also Saturday and Sunday at 6:30. Catch the replays of these games airing now from Glenn Smith Chevrolet Buick GMC in Opelika and WAXC TV3.
Baseball, softball getting started up. David, you told me during the break that you're going to fight it, go out there in the sub-30-degree weather, I guess, with about 8 coats on and a fur top over your head. Yep. And your wife said, nope, you're not going to force me over there. But you are one of, I hope, many that are going to show up for that opening game, aren't you?
I think opening night, there'll be a big crowd early. Yep. How long will they stay? I don't know. But I'm going to be there and endure it as long as I can. I mean, I'm giddy about baseball starting. And how did our softball do this weekend? Did they win all 5 of those? Do you know? Somebody help me out with that. They played 5 games.
This is the reason we need Andy Graham back.
Exactly. I don't have a script in front of me. By the way, y'all pray for Andy. He's still fighting and trying to get better, and our prayers are with him. But, I'm excited. I saw Friday, I went to the basketball practice, and then I walked across the street and watched some of the inter-squad game. They had one of the teams had the new uniforms on. We're breaking out some new Navy uniforms with white trim and orange. Mm-hmm. They'll grow on me, I guess. I asked Coach Thompson, I said, what do you think about the new unis? He said, I'm not sure yet, but the players like them.
No, and a lot of times that's all that matters.
That's exactly right.
You can't make everybody happy.
No, but excited. This is the time of year that's tough for me because I'm still so invested in basketball.
Yep.
And then baseball's starting, and I'm a baseball nut with my son having played and all that. So we'll just rock along with both of them. So, but I'm telling you, Randy, not to change the subject, but if we don't correct what's going on right now on the basketball floor, we're looking at a pretty low NCAA seed.
If we get one.
Or an NIT bid.
Yeah, I think it's going to take winning all but one of these last regular season games and at least one SEC game
and you look
in the tournament.
Where we got to go and who we got to play with.
I know it. So it's going to take a heck of an effort to close this thing out, and I think it's doable. But this team does need to start playing better, and, they got to know it. Sure. And you can look at the seeding before Saturday had us, I think, in a 9 seed. So that with an SEC and an at-large bid is a tough. So I think it will take one SEC tournament win and a majority of these final regular season games to get in.
Randy, here's the thing. Who is Joe Lunardi? I mean, he gets so much cred. Before we played A&M the second time, he had us as a 6 or 7 and had A&M as first 4 out.
Yep.
They sweep us. So what are you going to do the next day? You going to flip that? I mean, some of those early bracketology things drive me nuts because you never know how those things. And here's the other thing. In comes Missouri off of a 30-foot jump shot at the buzzer to beat Tennessee in the Neville Tuesday. And Bruce knows that ain't going to be an easy. We'd mark that down as a W. We marked Ole Miss at home down as a W, rightfully so. Tennessee's still at home. At Rupp, isn't that correct? We got to go to Rupp?
Yep.
And Tuscaloosa? They better strap it on, son.
A tough close, but, we've been in all. We were in the one Saturday. Just got to find a way to close games out better. And
hit some
so far,
shots.
it's been a major struggle for Auburn to find the offensive sets that they want to stick with late in the ball game and who they want the ball in the hand of and who to take shots outside of Wendell Green. Because right now it looks like Wendell Green or nothing late in the ball game.
Terry's called in and talked about Wendell being selfish. Well, if Wendell's not selfish
We're
right
in
now,
trouble.
We ain't scoring. We've got to get more out of Johni at the basket. Katie's got to hit those open shots.
He played better Saturday. He's been playing better the last 3 or 4 games.
And Allen had an off night shooting, but like you said, I mean, Allen was expending so much energy on the defensive end.
He did a heck of a job.
He did. We all were. Johni really I'd like to see Johni in a defensive stance about half the time. He just stands up straight and he just doesn't seem to get in position. Look, you got to put as much effort on the defensive end as you do on the offensive end. And we got to have him on the floor, Randy. I mean, Dylan can't play 30 minutes.
And Traore can't.
No.
He can't even get minutes
No,
right now.
forget that. So Broom's got to have a real heart-to-heart talk with himself about busting his butt on the defensive end, being where he needs to be. And then, look, you just got to be a killer. And the only killer we got right now is
Wendell Green.
How many killers does Alabama got?
3 or 4.
At least.
Yeah. Chance Westry, any update on him?
I hadn't even seen him. I didn't see him at practice the other day. Now, he could have been there, but I didn't see him. Kind of weird, kind of interesting.
Does it make it feel like it's an injury deal or maybe something else? You don't want to speculate, I know. But
I can't speculate. If it's an injury deal, though, why is he not at practice watching? And he could have been there. Oh, I was going to mention this, Stan Petkevich. Anybody that's an old Auburn fan. Of course, Stan played from 74 to 78.
Yeah.
But he also played in the league with the Clippers and the Mavericks. I sat next to him in practice Friday. He's a real estate guy in Orlando now and coaches part-time. Bald head. And when he introduced himself to me, I said, you got to be kidding me. I pulled his picture up. I said, Stan, what happened to that? He used to play with a Pete Maravich head full of hair. But an Auburn great for me to sit and just chop up basketball with him. It was so much fun when we see some of those old-timers that still come back to Auburn.
256-234-6221. One more segment of the Auburn Blitz right after this.
Tails are wagging and pets are bragging about Zoom to Groom. Columbus, Phoenix City, and Smith Station. Zoom to Groom comes to you. It's mobile pet grooming from the comfort of your driveway. Schedule your appointment now online at zoomtogroom.net or by phone at 334-740-9909.
76% of nurses say they went into the profession because they wanted to help patients. No matter the reason you decided to become a nurse, you have all the tools needed to advance your degree at Jacksonville State University. Our Master's in Nursing program is now offered fully online and can be completed in less than 2 years. You can customize a flexible course schedule so you can receive your advanced education degree all while working on the front line. JSU Nursing, your opportunity to advance your career and serve your community.
At C&T Electric, our clients are our priority. For the safety and security of your family and home, our technicians are professionally trained, drug tested, background checked, and wear uniforms with name tags. We're proud to have served the Elk City, Dadeville, and Lake Martin areas for the past 10 years. Give us a call at 256-234-0007 for all your electrical service and repair needs, or visit us on the web at www.cntelectricllc.com and spell out the word "and."
Something big is coming. Something so big, it'll change the world of chicken sandwiches. Zaxby's new signature sandwich with Zax sauce or new spicy Zax sauce, because the chicken sandwich war ain't over yet. The new signature sandwich. All the other little sandwiches can run along. We'll take it from here.
OGS Tournaments. Russell Marine and State Farm agent Aaron Warren present Crank for Bank 2023, April 1st through July 4th. Win over $1.5 million in cash and prizes. Over 200 tag bass and 50 tag crappie are waiting on you. All ages are welcome. Fish from the dock, boat, or shores of Lake Martin. Get registered now online at crankforbank.com for only $110 for 13 weeks of fishing. It's Crank for Bank 2023.
Russell Do-It Center and building supply stores have the tools and materials to get the job done right, whether you're a professional contractor or just a weekend do-it-yourselfer. With everyday customer conveniences like a drive-through lumberyard, price match promise, and our Best Rewards program, each of our 9 locations offer top brands and building materials like lumber, hardware, tools, paint, lawn and garden, and much more. Visit today and see what Russell Do-It Center and Building Supply can help you build tomorrow.
Attention! Have you or a loved one been diagnosed with cancer after using Zantac or other heartburn medications for several months? You may be entitled to compensation. Call Zantac Justice now for a free legal case review. The FDA has warned that Zantac and other medications containing heartburn drug ranitidine may be contaminated with cancer-causing agent NDMA. Consult your physician prior to discontinuing any use of medication.
Please call 800-379-5986.
Tails are wagging and pets are bragging about Zoom to Groom. Columbus, Phoenix City, and Smith Station. Zoom to Groom comes to you. It's mobile pet grooming from the comfort of your driveway. Schedule your appointment now online at zoomtogroom.net or by phone at 334-740-9909.
Ladies and gentlemen, the story you're about to hear is true, and the names have been changed because Brubaker Motors has sold to Sons Automotive. You heard right. Brubaker Kia is now Sons Kia of Montgomery. Furthermore, Sons Automotive is a family business with dealerships throughout the Southeast. The name Sons Automotive is synonymous with trust, and they care about the communities they're a part of. They're excited to serve the River region, and in the interest of justice, you will be served a sentence of big savings. Sons Kia of Montgomery, family owned, family driven.
David, a lot of the stats Saturday actually went in our favor. In the basketball game, if I would have asked a few of those when you and I did the show on Saturday, if Auburn wins the three-point shooting battle by making more threes, do you like Auburn's chances? And I'm sure you would have said yes. I would like that. Auburn did. Auburn made 7 to Alabama's 6. Alabama was 6 of 21 from the three-point arc. Auburn was 7 of 24. If I would have told you that we would have won the free throw margin by a substantial amount,
9 points.
You would have said, yeah, I like that, because we would have been more physical and we'd been getting ourselves to the line. And we really shot it well, 22 of 26. If I would have said, David, we won the rebounding battle, you would have taken that, wouldn't you? And so all of those stats went in Auburn's favor, but still didn't win the basketball
Their
game.
shooting percentage in the paint, Randy, was the difference. I mean, 60% overall.
Which is how you started the show today.
Yeah. I mean, that was the game plan. I don't fully embrace it. I still say you got to stop the ball before it gets to the rim. If they kick it out, get out there and contest and get a hand up. And like I said, I've never seen a three-point shooter hit a shot without the ball in his hands. But that's my old school thinking. That's not what we chose to do. And Bruce said that. So, but by the way, thank you to all the people that have have sent up. My wife's on me. My wife's killing me today, telling me softball was 4-1 this weekend. Bradbury's the kid from Pleasant Grove.
Yep.
Was in the.
I was right.
Reeves Sims, thank you.
Yep.
Reeves Sims, my buddy. Reeves Sims watches us every day. He's an usher at Auburn football, basketball, and baseball.
We're glad to
games.
have him. Yes.
He's a great guy.
Along with many of you.
Works the state Final Four tournament every year.
Okay. Well,
Yeah.
I'll be there. Well, you and I both will be there.
I'll have to introduce you to Reeves if we get a chance. But he chimed in and said, 4-1. Lost 8-7 to Pittsburgh. So good start for Auburn softball. And we've talked about this before with the two-headed monster they've got back on the mound. If they can get their power hitting together, play some defense, should be an interesting year for softball.
It's been where we've slipped.
Yeah, that's right.
You know, Auburn, when we were playing for championships, were really swinging the bats well and could go up there and scare you with 4 or 5 hitters at the plate that could put it out of the park. And since Mickey Dean came on board, we haven't been able to hit with the power that we had before. So hopefully we can get that straightened out. I do want to take advantage of the last few minutes of having you here on the program today to get everybody prepared for baseball this weekend. We talked about it Saturday, but you've got some good opinions on this team, some of the new faces that we'll see. Just give your opening thoughts as we get prepared for Friday.
Well, I've got to get used to the new guys, too. I'll learn a lot more this weekend as we see what Butch does with the lineup. I stand by the fact that, and I was talking to another Auburn fan Saturday at the basketball game, this may be the best outfielding core that we've seen at Auburn ever. That's strong words. If we get to Sunday and we're on the top side of the one loss, I feel great with Joseph Gonzalez as long as he stays healthy. I think we're great at catcher. The new first baseman that came in from Kansas, taking over for Sonny D. Cole Foster moving over to shortstop, anchor in the infield. This weekend's going to be interesting, Randy, because you and I talked about this off the air. You've been at those baseball parks when it was freezing. It's going to be interesting to see how Butch handles the pitching. But I can say this, I'm not panicking because we lost what we lost from last year, College World Series team. I'm excited because we've just reloaded again. There are some names that you and I will be talking about in a month and a half down the road in Auburn baseball that we don't really even know who they are right now, but we're going to find out pretty quick.
I think 2 of them that we will talk about very early from all of you that cover it and care as much as you do about it is incoming catcher that will add a little bit more pop and hopefully a little better bat, but you also, you know, you got a veteran back there that can really catch it and throw it. So if it's more of a defensive-minded game that we're involved in, then we've got a little bit of both. So let's start there. I think that going out and getting another catcher that can bring a little bit more at the plate could help.
True. The word is that Nate LaRue has really improved his hitting.
Very good.
But think about this. Ike Irish could DH.
Yeah. So you got multiple options there, but also just pushing.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes being pushed a little bit can help you.
Absolutely. Look, Nate LaRue is a great guy, and he's got a cannon. If Ike Irish can get the ball to second base as quickly as Nate LaRue can, we're in for a lot of good nights on the baseball diamond. But you mentioned Ike. Was there another one that you were going to throw out?
The first base, you know, you've got to replace Sonny D, and you got to replace his bat. You may not do it all with one player, but Auburn does go out and get a big physical first baseman, kind of the same imps
He's
to come in.
He's bigger than Sonny D.
Yep.
6'5" and about 265. Sonny wasn't 6'5". That'll be interesting. And there again, you know, Mike Bello in the outfield, Cason Howell, who is just all-world out there, tracks down everything. Anything that can be caught, Cason Howell's going to catch it from center field. Josh Hallback, who you're very fond of.
I just know he runs really well, and Josh has got his dad's a great high school coach here in the state, and I mentioned that I thought an awful lot of his granddad. I got to know him really well, so I'm just kind of cheering for Josh on the side that he hits the peak of what he expected when he went over to Ole Miss.
Yeah.
You know, when he left from Homewood and went to Ole Miss, I said, man, he's going to be a leadoff hitter. He's going to run those bases well. He's going to be a lefty that you can count on. And he's had some injuries, so I haven't seen him enough, but I know the talent's there. I hope he shows out for Auburn this year.
Well, I'll have a lot of names for us to talk about next week after I watch this weekend's game.
Will you do that? Because I think I'll be with you a little bit more, David. So we'll talk baseball because I like to talk baseball. And Jason Caldwell's always on with us on Friday, and I think he covers baseball for Auburn University better than any of our other writers. So we'll definitely catch up with Jason on Friday and talk about that as we head into the weekend. For David Jones, I'm Randy Lee saying thanks for tuning in to the Auburn Blitz.